Star Wars fans, to today's video, where we dive deep into the intricate and thrilling world of lightsaber combat. From the disciplined elegance of Form 1 to the ferocious power of Form 7, we're breaking down all 7 forms recognized by the Jedi Order. Whether you're a seasoned Star Wars lore master or curious newcomer, this video will unravel the secrets behind the combat styles that have shaped the galaxy far, far away. From the calm precision of Form 2 to the explosive ferocity of Form 7, these combat styles are more than just fighting techniques. They're reflections of the Jedi and Sith who wield them. Get ready to explore the unique techniques, legendary practitioners, and the fascinating history behind each form. Grab your lightsabers and join me as we journey through the ultimate guide to lightsaber combat in the Star Wars universe. Form 1, also known as Shii-Cho, or the Way of the Sarlacc, is the very foundation of lightsaber combat. Developed during the Jedi Order's transition from ancient metal swords to the advanced lightsabers we know today. Its simplicity and raw power make it the first form taught to every Jedi, serving as a crucial stepping stone in their training. Shii-Cho's techniques are deeply rooted in traditional sword fighting, with basic attacks, parries, and body target zones that all Jedi initiates must master. But beyond its role as an introductory form, Shii-Cho holds many unique and rarely discussed aspects that make it fascinating. For instance, it fosters an emotionally heated mindset, requiring great restraint to avoid lethal intent, which aligns with the Jedi philosophy of minimizing harm. A hallmark technique of Shii-Cho is the disarming slash, aiming to strip opponents of their weapons rather than injure them, reflecting the Jedi's preference for non-lethal resolutions. Despite being overshadowed by more advanced forms like Makashi, Shii-Cho remains an effective fallback option, especially against multiple opponents due to its wide, sweeping motions. Notable practitioners include Kit Fisto, whose mastery of Shii-Cho allowed him to hold his own against formidable foes like General Grievous in the Clone Wars series. While Shii-Cho is primarily associated with the Jedi, it was also the go-to form for early Sith and Dark Jedi, as it was the only lightsaber combat available during its inception. This dual affiliation underscores its foundational role in lightsaber history. In the movies, Revenge of the Sith shows us how Shii-Cho's deliberate and predictable movements can be disadvantaged in single combat. As Obi-Wan Kenobi noted, its clumsiness compared to more refined forms. However, the form's ability to cover multiple adversaries is well suited for chaotic battlefield situations, making it versatile and reliable. The training regimen of repetitive sequences and velocities in Shii-Cho ingrains the moves into a Jedi's muscle memory, essential for developing the reflexes needed in lightsaber combat. Kit Fisto's ability to adapt Shii-Cho to dual-blade combat and even light whips showcases the form's flexibility. In Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, we see Mitra Surik, the Jedi exile, instinctively regain her Shii-Cho skills after reawakening to the Force, highlighting its fundamental importance. Training often involves blindfolded exercises to enhance the Jedi's reliance on the Force rather than their senses, building deeper combat instincts. Even Darth Vader incorporated elements of Shii-Cho into his formidable Form 5, and his son Luke Skywalker received basic instruction of Shii-Cho during his early training under Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope. Shii-Cho's enduring significance and rich history within the Jedi Order make it more than just a beginner's form. It's a testament to the timeless principles of lightsaber combat and the unwavering determination of the Jedi. Form 2, also known as Makashi, or the Way of the Ysalamiri, is the elegant and precise lightsaber form developed during a time when duels with Dark Jedi and Rogue Force users were common, addressing the shortcomings of Form 1, Shii-Cho. Makashi emphasizes precision, fluidity, and economy of movement, relying on light cuts, jabs, and parries instead of brute strength, making it particularly effective against single opponents. Its focus on balance and linear footwork allows practitioners to advance and retreat seamlessly, contrasting with the dynamic acrobatics of forms like Ataru. Makashi duelists often wield specialized lightsabers, such as the curved hilt lightsaber favored by Count Dooku, for better grip and control. Unique defensive maneuvers like the Contentious Opportunity and Makashi Riposte exploit openings and counter-strike efficiently, but the form's lack of kinetic power makes it vulnerable to strength-oriented styles like Gemso, unless practitioners compensate through strength training or cybernetic augmentation. Notably, Makashi practitioners are adept at defending against force-based attacks, adding another layer of defense. Count Dooku, or Darth Tyrannus, is the most renowned master of Makashi, known for his elegant and tactical dueling style, using precise footwork and feints to outmaneuver opponents, as seen in his duels in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Asajj Ventress, Dooku's apprentice in the Clone Wars also demonstrates Makashi's effectiveness, though her emotional approach sometimes compromises its precision. Despite its strengths, Makashi saw a decline after the Battle of Ruusan due to the rise of blaster technology and fewer lightsaber duels, leading to its replacement by the more defensive Form 3, Soresu. However, Makashi experienced a resurgence during the New Sith Wars and was preserved through ceremonial duels and training exercises within the Jedi Order. Both Jedi and Sith adapted Makashi to their needs, with Dooku training his Magna Guards in Makashi techniques and Jedi like Qui-Gon Jinn and Shaak Ti incorporating elements into their combat styles. The cinematic portrayal of Dooku's duels showcases Makashi's elegance and strategic finesse, making it a fascinating and historically significant form in lightsaber combat. Form 3, also known as Soresu, or the Way of the Mynock, is renowned as the ultimate defensive lightsaber form developed by the Jedi to counter the widespread use of blasters. This form was designed to provide maximum defensive coverage with tight blade work and subtle dodges, minimizing the exposure to ranged attacks and embodying the non-aggressive Jedi philosophy. Soresu emphasizes economy of motion and energy efficiency, keeping the blade in constant motion to build momentum and outlast opponents. The core tenet of Soresu is to maintain a calm center within the eye of the storm, allowing practitioners to remain undistracted and undisturbed by the conflict around them. Unique to Soresu is the Circle of Shelter technique, where a Jedi in a meditative state can hold off multiple attackers by relying on the Force to perceive and evade blaster shots, sometimes even gaining visions of the future. This form is incredibly effective against both single enemies and groups, whether armed with blasters or lightsabers. However, its focus on defense and at the expense of offense has drawn criticism, as it can lead to prolonged battles that risk fatiguing the user. As we know, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the most notable practitioner of Soresu, having switched to this form after witnessing his master Qui-Gon Jinn's death due to Ataru's lack of defensive capabilities. Kenobi's mastery of Soresu enabled him to survive countless battles during the Clone Wars, holding his ground against formidable opponents like General Grievous, Asajj Ventress, and Count Dooku. His defensive prowess allowed him to walk unscathed through hornet swarms of blaster fire, making him a formidable opponent even when unarmed. Kenobi's duel with Anakin on Mustafar showcased the strengths and weaknesses of Soresu, as he defended against Anakin's relentless Gemso onslaught until he could exploit a crucial opening. Darth Vader also studied Soresu after his transformation, incorporating his defensive techniques into his personalized variant of Form 5. This adaptation allowed Vader to protect the weak points of his suit and maintain a formidable offense, ultimately enabling him to overwhelm even Kenobi in their rematch on the Death Star. Vader's apprentice, Galen Merrick, also known as Starkiller, also utilized Soresu effectively, wearing down aggressive opponents with his defensive skills. Luminara Unduli and her apprentice Barriss Offee were other prominent practitioners of Soresu, known for their strong defensive capabilities. Jedi Battlemaster Sindralig, Grandmaster Yoda, and Jedi Council members like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Coleman Trebor were proficient in Soresu, with Yoda mastering all forms of lightsaber combat. Despite its defensive nature, Soresu required intense focus and precision, as even a small lapse could lead to an injury. Form 3's practical applications extended beyond defense. Techniques like the deflecting slash allowed practitioners to redirect blaster bolts into offensive maneuvers, and the form's adaptability provided multiple options in combat, from disarming opponents to reasoning with them. The philosophy behind Soresu, emphasizing patience, calmness, and resilience, made it a cornerstone of Jedi training, reflecting the Order's commitment to peace and protection. Despite its defensive strengths, Soresu had limitations. Against highly aggressive and controlled defenses, such as those employed by Darth Maul, Shaak Ti, and Vader, practitioners could be overwhelmed if they couldn't find openings to counterattack. This inherent challenge required Soresu users to develop not just their physical skills, but also their mental and tactical acumen to exploit enemy weaknesses effectively. Soresu's enduring legacy and detailed history highlight its significance in the Jedi combat's repertoire, making it more than just a defensive form, but a profound expression of their core values and philosophy. Form 4, also known as Ataru, or the Way of the Hawkbat, is one of the most aggressive and acrobatic lightsaber forms, with a history that stretches back to the Old Republic and the Mandalorian Wars. This form, characterized by its reliance on force-assisted acrobatics, involves somersaults, leaping strikes, and spins, allowing practitioners to overcome physical limitations and even old age. Ataru demands high energy and stamina, with Jedi using the Force to enhance their speed and agility, making it particularly effective against single opponents. Legendary practitioners like Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn have demonstrated the formidable power of Ataru. Yoda's mastery of Ataru, seen in his duels with Count Dooku and Darth Sidious, showcases how his small stature and advanced age were no hindrance due to its unparalleled agility and speed. Qui-Gon Jinn's use of Ataru, however, highlighted its weaknesses, as he was ultimately defeated by Darth Maul's Juyo due to the confined space and prolonged combat. Ataru practitioners employ kinetic movements, known as Suma, which include spinning, Yung Suma, somersaults, Ton Suma, and cartwheels, En Suma. These movements form the core of Ataru's dynamic and aggressive style, allowing practitioners to attack from all directions and appear as a blur to their opponents. The form's high-energy nature makes it less effective against multiple foes and in prolonged battles. Despite its weaknesses, Ataru's aggressive techniques like the Hawk Bat Swoop and Saber Swarm enable quick strikes and defensive postures, making it a valuable form for Jedi. After Qui-Gon's death, Obi-Wan Kenobi shifted to the more defensive Soresu, but retained elements of Ataru in his combat, incorporating his acrobatics during the Clone Wars. Sith practitioners like Blade Master Kasim also utilized Ataru, combining its acrobatics with the dark side techniques to exploit opponents' weaknesses. Ataru's legacy continued through the New Jedi Order, with masters like Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade Skywalker preserving and teaching this form. They emphasized its use as a last resort, highlighting its dynamic and aggressive nature. Ataru's presence in Star Wars video games, such as Star Wars Galaxies and Star Wars The Old Republic, further cements its place as a significant and versatile form in lightsaber combat. This blend of historical significance, legendary practitioners, and unique techniques makes Ataru a fascinating and essential aspect of Jedi and Sith lightsaber lore. Form 5, known as Shien or Gemso, stands out in the vast expanse of lightsaber combat for its unique blend of defensive resilience and offensive power. Developed by Jedi Masters who found Form 3 too passive, Form 5 emerged as a solution, integrating the solid defense of Soresu with the aggressive tactics of Makashi. Practitioners of Form 5 are recognized for their ability to deflect blaster bolts while simultaneously launching powerful counterattacks, a strategy particularly evident in the classical Shien variant. This style, often termed the Way of the Krayt Dragon, is adept at handling multiple opponents, leveraging the Jedi's ability to turn defensive maneuvers into immediate offensive strikes. The lesser-known Gemso variant, designed specifically for lightsaber dueling, emphasizes brute strength and overpowering the opponent through sheer force. Jedi who mastered Gemso, such as Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, utilized its powerful, wide strikes to dominate their adversaries. Anakin's transition to Darth Vader showcased an evolution in Form 5, incorporating elements of Form 7's intensity and Form 3's defense. This created a hybrid fighting style that capitalized on his immense strength and mechanical augmentations. Rarely discussed aspects of Form 5 includes development alongside Ataru, during a period when Jedi were increasingly tasked with peacekeeping missions that demanded a more assertive combat approach. Jedi Masters like Sindralig and Plo Koon were proponents of the form, despite its controversial nature among Jedi who felt it leaned too heavily towards aggression. The Shien variant's reverse grip, popularized by Ahsoka Tano, is another unique feature, allowing for sweeping, powerful strikes, although it was less favored among traditionalists. In terms of historical context, Form 5 was pivotal during the Great Sith War and the New Sith Wars, and it persisted through the Jedi Civil War and Clone Wars. Darth Bane's use of a curved hilt lightsaber, typically associated with Makashi in his application of Gemso, exemplifies the form's versatility and the blending of combat styles to maximize effectiveness. Its adaptability made it a staple among both Jedi and Sith. Unique practitioners of Form 5 include Jedi Masters Aayla Secura and Adi Gallia, both adept at its powerful strikes and defensive tactics. In the post-Great Jedi Purge era, Luke Skywalker revived and refined Form 5 techniques within the New Jedi Order, teaching a balanced approach that tempered its aggression with compassion. Notably, Kyle Katarn, a Jedi Battle Master in the New Jedi Order, exemplified the form's enduring legacy and adaptability. Form 5's emphasis on leveraging an opponent's attack against them, combined with its physical demands, has cemented it as a powerful yet controversial form. Form 6, known as Niman, the Way of the Rancor, and the Diplomat's form, is an intriguing lightsaber combat style within the Star Wars universe, notable for its balanced and versatile approach. Its practitioners, spanning from the ancient Jedi and Sith to the New Jedi Order, demonstrate the form's enduring relevance and effectiveness in lightsaber combat, making it a critical study for any true Star Wars aficionado. Unlike other forms that specialize in specific techniques, Niman incorporates elements from forms 1 through to 5, creating a well-rounded fighting style that lacks significant strengths or weaknesses. This generalist nature makes it an ideal choice for Jedi who prioritize diplomacy and scholarly pursuits over intensive combat training. However, this versatility also means that its effectiveness in combat heavily depends on the practitioner's intuition and creativity, rather than rote techniques. Unique aspects of Form 6 include its historical roots and development. Originally practiced by the royal Mashitaros of the Kashima dynasty and later adopted by the Jedi Order after the First Great Schism, Niman was refined into the sixth form of lightsaber combat. Its balanced nature made it popular among Jedi consulars and those who needed to balance their combat skills with diplomatic and force abilities. Despite its moderate blade work, Niman training emphasizes integrating force-based attacks, such as telekinetic pulls and shoves, into combat sequences. This integration allows practitioners to control and eliminate multiple enemies effectively, though it requires significant skill to master. Notable practitioners of Niman include Exar Kun, who, despite his fall to the dark side, was one of the finest duelists of his era. Kun's aggressive and brutal fighting style contrasted sharply with Niman's philosophy of moderation, yet he was never defeated in the lightsaber duel, showcasing the form's potential in the hands of a skilled user. Other prominent users include Jedi Council Masters Zez Kai-El, Vrook Lamar, and Kavar, who taught the form during the Jedi Civil War. Darth Sidious, known for his mastery of all lightsaber forms, likely included Niman in his repertoire, passing on his techniques to his apprentice, Darth Maul. Niman also served as a foundation for dual blade combat, known as Jarkai. The form's relaxed blade work and balanced approach provided a solid basis for those wishing to master dual-bladed techniques. The Priapulan Jedi Master Squelly, renowned for his skill with 6 lightsabers, exemplified this dual-blade mastery. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker also studied Niman, using its principles to incorporate force attacks seamlessly into their combat styles. During the Clone Wars, Anakin, despite favoring Form 5, trained his Padawan Ahsoka Tano in Niman to enhance her dual-blade proficiency. Form 6's practicality was both its strength and its downfall. While suitable for diplomatic missions and combating criminals, it proved inadequate on the open battlefields of the Clone Wars. The Battle of Geonosis was particularly devastating for Niman practitioners, with all adherents perishing in combat. Despite this, the form continued to be studied and practiced, with figures like Grandmaster Yoda and Swordmaster Mace Windu achieving full mastery over it, incorporating its techniques into their broader combat strategies. In summary, Form 6's balanced, jack-of-all-trades nature makes it a unique and versatile combat form within the Star Wars lore. Its emphasis on integrating force powers into lightsaber combat and its foundational role in dual-blade techniques highlight its adaptability. However, the form's success relies heavily on the practitioner's skill and creativity, making it a challenging yet rewarding form for those who seek to master it. Form 7, also known as Juyo or Vaapad, stands as the pinnacle of lightsaber combat, embodying ferocity, complexity, and unparalleled intensity. This form, often shrouded in mystery and controversy, was revered and feared by both Jedi and Sith alike. Juyo, the original incarnation, dates back millennia before the Battle of Yavin, rooted deeply in the ancient Jedi and Sith traditions. It demanded not only physical prowess, but also an extraordinary emotional intensity, pushing practitioners to harness controlled passion and fury. This inherent connection to one's inner darkness made Juyo a contentious form within the Jedi Order, often considered taboo for its potential to lead even the most disciplined Jedi astray. Unlike other forms, Juyo's techniques were chaotic and erratic, filled with bold, direct movements that sacrificed defense for sheer offensive power. The evolution of Form 7 gave rise to Vaapad, a variation developed by Jedi Masters Mace Windu and Sora Bulk during the later years of the Galactic Republic. It was said that a true master of Juyo could eviscerate a lone enemy with relentless aggression, a testament to the form's lethal effectiveness in one-on-one duels. Vaapad was more than just a combat style, it was a state of mind that channeled the practitioner's inner darkness into a weapon of light. Named after the creature of Sarapin, whose blindingly fast tentacles inspired its movements, Vaapad transformed the user into a conduit of energy, accepting the fury of their opponent and using it against them. This form required a constant, immense stream of force power, making it accessible only to those with exceptional control and discipline. Vaapad's flowing, interconnected attacks created a near-visible weave of energy, bewildering opponents with its speed and unpredictability. Mace Windu, the primary developer of Vaapad, exemplified its potential in numerous battles, most notably in his duel against Darth Sidious. Windu's mastery allowed him to channel Sidious's dark power using Vaapad to reflect the Sith Lord's fury back at him in a dazzling display of purple fire. Despite its power, Windu recognized the dangers of Vaapad, teaching it only to his trusted apprentice, Depapalaba, who herself became a formidable practitioner until her fall to the dark side on Harun Kal. The ferocious nature of Juyo was perfectly embodied by Darth Maul, who wielded the form with deadly precision against Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi on Naboo. Maul's aggressive style and inner rage made him a perfect candidate for Juyo, and his double-wielded lightsaber technique showcased the form's adaptability and raw power. Similarly, Galen Marek, Darth Vader's secret apprentice, harnessed Juyo's unpredictability and aggression, combining it with sudden force attacks to overwhelm his foes, making him one of the most dangerous duelists of his time. Form 7's demanding nature meant that only the most skilled and disciplined could master it. Jedi Battlemaster Sin Dralig and Grandmaster Yoda, both knowledgeable in all 7 forms, understood the risks and rewards of Juyo and Vaapad. Dralig, in particular, restricted its study to a select few, emphasizing its perilous path close to the dark side. Even the legendary Anakin Skywalker was forbidden from learning Juyo by Dralig, while Obi-Wan Kenobi, ever the paragon of control, was advised against Vaapad by Qui-Gon Jinn. In the post-Jedi Purge era, knowledge of Form 7 persisted, preserved by the New Jedi Order and later generations. The form's legacy is one of immense power and profound danger, a testament to the fine line between light and dark in the Star Wars universe. From Mace Windu's heroic last stand to Darth Maul's relentless vengeance, Form 7 remains a symbol of ultimate combat mastery, embodying the eternal struggle between the light and the dark sides of the Force. That wraps up our in-depth look at the 7 forms of lightsaber combat. We've seen how each form brings its own philosophy and techniques to the battlefield, influencing some of the most iconic duels in Star Wars history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Star Wars content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments which lightsaber form you find the most fascinating and why. Until next time, may the Force be with you.